The world can be one together, cosmos without hatred, stars like diamonds in your eyes. See the sun. Goodbye, moon man. You say goodbye, moon man.
This is Cade, Conklin, and welcome to f***ing Smash Course.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
Do 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 do. You thought that with Obi-Wan was dope? Spoiler alert, it f***ing isn't. We're gonna be talking about the dopest mother f***ing country on the face of the planet. That's right, bitches. Spain.
Cade, I don't know if you should be saying those things on live camera.
Don't tell me what to do. This is my f***ing show. We're gonna dive the f*** into this shit. With the decline of the Roman Empire, Suebi, Vandals, and Alans took control of parts of what was then known as Hispania. Around the year 500, the Visigoths conquered Hispania and held it until the year 711. This was when the Islamic Moors from northern Africa started f***ing shit up. The Christian kingdoms and Moors fought a battle known as the Reconquista, which lasted until the year 1492, when present-day Spain was established. Oh yeah, also here on Smash Course, every time we say the name of the country at hand, we throw some culturally authentic food into the mix. Spain! Okay, so I know what you're wondering. Wasn't 1492 also the year my boy Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue? Well, the answer is yes. Yes, it was. So Christopher Columbus, originally from Portugal, was all like, "Hey Portugal, can I have some money to find a quicker way to get into India without going around the earth the other way?" And Portugal was all like, "No f***ing way, you weak, pathetic little no-good, dirty bitch." And Christopher Columbus was all like, "Oh well, if that's how you really feel about it, well, hey Spain, can you give me some money to go check out new ways to get to India?" And Spain was all like, "Oh yeah." And so Chrissy sailed away and found India, but it turned out to not be India, but it didn't really matter because there was hella silver there, and Spain was making hella bank. Hey, keep the camera on me. My show. Okay, so where were we? Oh yes, my boy Christopher Columbus it up in America. So as Spain was sucking up all the silver from the Americas, they were slowly becoming the most powerful nation in Europe. This began the Spanish Price Revolution.
Hey, I have a question.
When did you get here?
I don't even know what's really going on.
Anyway, so if we're done with the interruptions, the Spanish Price Revolution was a time beginning around 1470. In Spain, everyone was all like, "Hey, let's make a dope f***ing coin, and everyone will get along great, and it'll all be amazing." So they made the Florentine coin. It f***ing sucked.
Wait, why?
Well, really, 2 Spanish leaders died in close succession and left the country in shambles, which pushed it into an economic hole. Because of this, when Spain started getting all that silver from the New World, they started going crazy. Prices started skyrocketing with all the new currency, and falling inflation soon spread all over Europe. Now, time for some fun facts about Spain. Yes. The capital of Spain is Madrid. Soccer is the most popular sport. The currency used in Spain is the euro. The average Spanish person has 2.00125 nipples. The population in Spain is about 46.5 million. Nudity is completely legal in Spain. Prior to 2015, the age of consent in Spain was 14, the youngest at the time. Okay, so if you know about the world, then you know at one point there was a big ass war, and everyone called it a world war because a ton of people got all amped up and started blasting each other. So what was Spain doing at this time? Well, let me tell you, they were completely neutral. On the day the war broke out, Spain immediately declared neutrality. Their prime minister at the time, Eduardo Dato, received a lot of praise for this. However, the upper class, Catholic Church, and Spanish army all disagreed with this to some extent and expressed desires to help the Central Powers. This was mostly due to a strong influence of German ideals on Spanish culture. Some Spanish citizens even began enlisting to fight for the French army.
Wait. So was Spain for or against the Central Powers in World War I?
Different demographics in Spain held different loyalties, but know most importantly that overall they were neutral. While neutral, Spain began producing many goods for the warring countries, bringing them a lot of wealth. However, imports dropped. This intensified poverty, but brought much wealth to Spanish industrial powers. Alright, so the First World War is over, and haha, psych, Spain's in a war with itself now. The Spanish Civil War was a military revolt against the Republican government of Spain. People were getting cranky because the government was just total like, so
So you mean like corrupt?
Nate, don't speak again. Your presence here is worthless. Anyway, when an initial military coup failed to win control of the entire country, some dude named Alfonso decided the general needed to nut up and take control of Spain, thus starting the Civil War. There were two sides of the war, the nationalists and the Republicans. The nationalists, as the rebels were called, got help from fascist Italy and Nazi Germany. I didn't even say Spain. The Republicans, on the other hand, received aid from the Ruskies and the International Brigades, which was a fat squad of volunteers from Europe and the United States. A well-planned military uprising began on July 17th, 1936, and garrisoned towns throughout Spain. By July 21st, the rebels had achieved control in Spanish Morocco, the Canary Islands, and the Balearic Islands. By November 1936, the rebels had advanced to the outskirts of Madrid. They laid siege to it, but were unable to get beyond the University City area. They then laid conquest to the entire northern coast, and began the game of attrition with the Republicans. By February 1939, 250,000 Republican soldiers, together with an equal number of civilians, had fled across the border into France. Then finally on March 28th, all of the Republican armies had begun to disband and surrender, and the rebel forces entered Madrid on that day. So now let's talk about the Second World War. So you know that guy Franco who won the Civil War? Yeah, he's head honcho now, and he decides to keep Spain high-key non-belligerent. But that's just high-key. Low-key, however, Franco was hardcore helping out his Nazi bros and supplied a ton of materials and military support to the Axis powers. This was partially due to the fact that Franco and Spain owed Germany $212 million for their help in the Civil War. At this time, France was getting absolutely pounded, and Franco was all like, "Do I invade France? Don't I invade France? Do I invade France? Don't I invade France?" Eventually, he decided, you know what? Not today, and left France alone, fearing that an invasion of France would leave him too weak to a British invasion. Okay, it's time for the mystery document. Now, you all know how this works, but I'll explain it one more time. I read a random document and try to guess the author. If I guess it correctly, I win. If not, I get waterboarded. Alright, let's see if it is this time. Alright, proletariat. Alright, Este. Alright, Diego Parra Rodriguez. Alright, Pero. Right. The f*** is this?
Wrong! Waterboarding! Cade getting waterboarded.
No, we're not actually doing that.
Okay, we're actually
No, because that's like serious. It's torture.
I know. That's why we're doing it. Look how funny this is.
I don't want to go to school today after getting tortured.
I know, but like, okay.
Can we just
think
put
how off guard they'll be in the video when we tour.
Can I just put in another video?
Because I heard it's not that bad.
Yeah, no, I heard like you just ordered back in the video.
I'm gonna waterboard you later.
No.
Are you still filming?
Yeah, I am filming.
Yeah, you can just set the camera up. You should just like sit on his chest and then.
Nate, I don't really want to take another take of this.
Wait, you go sit down on his chest.
Why?
Huh?
So scared.
So he doesn't just move. That'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay, this is what you get for not guessing the mystery dog. You suck. You suck.
Okay. Here we are mixing things up on Smash Course because we're not one-dimensional. We think outside the mother box. So back to Franco. He's in charge of Spain. At the moment, he says, you know what? F it. I'm gonna do what any self-respecting world leader would do and turn my country into an authoritarian regime.
Wait. So what was Spain up until this point?
Aha! Good question, young blood. You see, after World War II, Spain remained pretty removed from world politics for about 10 years. Under Franco at this time, Spain was operating as an openly totalitarian regime that used extremely harsh punishment and human rights abuses. So really, this switch to an authoritarian regime with limited pluralism was a step in a good direction. So from here, Spain became a huge enemy of communism. During the Cold War, Spain was very vocally against communism and received a lot of assistance from the West. By the 1960s, Spain saw incremental reforms and progressive economic development. Francisco Franco died in 1975 after 36 years in power. Before his death, he reinstated the Spanish monarchy and put King Juan Carlos I on the throne. Juan Carlos then transformed Spain into a parliamentary democracy under constitutional monarchy. This is done by way of a referendum.
Wait. When are we now?
This brings us up to around modern world history, but this Smash Course is far from over. You see, here on Smash Course, not only do we talk about the past, but we talk about the future. In the year 2034, the space rock will land in eastern China and spread space AIDS throughout the world, killing off 2/3 of the population. In the broken world of post-space AIDS, Spain's new leader, Diego Parra Martinez, begins Spain's first genocide to kill off all of the lower class and disabled in hopes of bringing Spain power. He began funneling money into scientific research and found a way to create a new energy source made out of nitrogen in the air. This new export began to bring significant amounts of wealth into Spain. At this point, the population of the United States has recovered significantly, and the United States begins taking military action against the Spanish genocide. However, due to Spain's extreme wealth, the Spanish forces win the war and send the United States into shambles. In the chaos, the mob gangs that currently have power over broken Mexico annex the United States. The year is now 2042, and Supreme Overlord Diego Parra Martinez is brutally executed by the Spanish rebels, assisted by the rest of Europe. The revolution exhausts the resources of Europe, and in this weakened time, they are invaded by the Minion Empire that has taken over the entire southern hemisphere. This marks the end of Spain.
Yes, I can just put a twin. Don't leave your car unlocked, Sam.